Very good afternoon to you and welcome to Good Afternoon Ghana. Live here from our studios at Ridge in Accra, the Akuya Wahima studio. We are also on DSTV channel 277, on Facebook and on YouTube at Metro TV Ghana, on X and also on Instagram at Metro TV GH. I'm told we are also very active and loud on TikTok, so go on there across all our social media platforms. Follow, like, comment and share, and let's take part in this show here this afternoon. So don't you go nowhere. My colleague Akuya Abba Bio is already on standby with the latest stories from around the country. Akuya, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, right? How are you doing?
I'm good. I mean, what is happening?
Right, we'll take viewers through that. Let's take a look at the headlines. Hello again. We're very much grateful for your time. Now let's begin with the bulletin. And President John Mahama has called on indigenous companies in Ghana to build their capacity and competence to enable them contribute meaningfully to the country's gross national product. President Mahama made the remarks when he joined First Sky Group at the Accra International Conference Center yesterday to mark the company's 23rd annual Thanksgiving service. Speaking during the 23rd anniversary of the First Sky Group of companies, its founder and executive chairman, Eric Sedi Kutoche, has disclosed that his companies have contributed significantly to reducing unemployment in Ghana. According to him, the group has employed over 6,000 people nationwide, reflecting its commitment to driving economic growth and providing meaningful employment opportunities for citizens.
We have grown this far because Ghana chose to believe in the Ghanaian capacity. We have endured because this nation created a space for local enterprise to compete. The nation's progress is strongest when the public leadership and the private enterprise work together in synergy. Your Excellency, permit me to express on behalf of the First Sky Group our deepest appreciation for your leadership and for your vision behind the big push. We are grateful that under this vision, the First Sky Construction has been entrusted as a partner based on the recognition of capacity and competence. And we say thank you, His Excellency.
Speaking as the special guest, President John Mahama commended First Sky Group for its significant contribution to the economy through job creation and philanthropic initiatives, particularly in the health and education sectors. He noted that through sustained capacity building and improved competence, Ghanaian companies would be better positioned to compete effectively with international firms across various sectors of the economy.
There's one thing in economics, we have what we call the gross domestic product. The gross domestic product is the total value of goods and services produced in a nation in 1 year. And so you talk about all the goods and services produced in a nation. But there's something that is more important than the gross domestic product, and that is the gross national product. The gross national product measures the total value of goods and services produced by the citizens of a country. And so always when we talk about economy, we talk about GDP. Our GDP has grown, our GDP.
Now, President John Mahama has also expressed astonishment at the speed of Ghana's economic recovery, noting that the turnaround has occurred far more rapidly than he initially expected when his administration took office amidst severe economic difficulties. The president said the pace of improvement has surpassed both domestic and international expectations, attracting commendation from institutions such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. Speaking of the 23rd anniversary of First Sky Group of Companies, President Mahama explained that the economic conditions inherited by his government were so challenging that he anticipated it would take at least 2 years before tangible signs of recovery would emerge. He pointed to significant improvements in key macroeconomic indicators, including a sharp drop in inflation and the strong performance of the Ghanaian cedi as clear evidence that the economy is rebounding faster than anticipated.
We're all surprised and shocked at the quick turnaround. Anytime I meet the IMF officials and the World Bank officials, they themselves cannot believe, what has happened in Ghana. So Ghana has now become the poster boy, of the IMF and the World Bank. So when they go to other African countries, they say, don't you see Ghana? Look at what Ghana has done. And that's why I say, it is only the grace of God. It is only the grace of God. To bring inflation from 23.8% to 5.4% in 1 year, how did we manage that? For the first time to see our long-suffering Ghanaian currency, the cedi, that has been taking a beating over the years. Dollars have been arrested, they've broken jail, and all that. For the first time to see the Ghanaian cedi appreciate by 37% in 1 year, it's only God. It's by His grace. The IMF gave us a primary balance of 1.5%. And 2025, our primary balance is 2%, higher than the IMF gave. And so, God has been good to us. And as a nation, we must be grateful to Him. Because if we express gratitude to Him, He will bless us more. And I believe that with the thanksgiving we're giving to God, and this year we're going to do the National Day of Thanksgiving again like we did on the Republic Day, I'm sure by the end of 2026, the whole world will stand and be clapping for Ghana.
The president attributed the gains to prudent economic management, discipline, and what he described as divine intervention. Now, the president has also reaffirmed government's commitment to improving the welfare of the Ghana Armed Forces, cutting the sword for the construction of 2,000 housing units and announcing a pay raise for service personnel. The move forms part of a broader retooling and welfare drive unveiled at the 2025 West African Soldiers Social Activity in Accra.
The Ghana Armed Forces continues to play a vital role in international peacekeeping, even as global dynamics continue to evolve. The current financial and logistical challenges facing the United Nations have led to significant drawdowns in peacekeeping operations worldwide. I've been informed that 247 personnel deployed to southern Lebanon were repatriated just 2 months after deployment.
The sword cutting ceremony took place at the headquarters of the Ghana Armed Forces at Bema Camp as part of activities marking the 2025 West African Soldiers Social Activity, WASA. The housing project, which begins with 2,000 units, represents phase 1 of the larger 10,000 unit housing initiative to be rolled out over the next 5 years. President John Dramani Mahama, in his capacity as the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, described decent housing as a critical component of troop morale and operational readiness.
The welfare of our personnel remains a top priority. I fully support initiatives such as the proposed Mutual Health Fund for service personnel and their families, which will improve access to health care and financial security.
Beyond housing, the president announced an upward adjustment in salaries for members of the Ghana Armed Forces effective March 2026. He further assured personnel that arrears for the months of January and February will be paid in March.
It pleases me to announce that your new salary scales will start in March. I said tidings of great joy. You now understand what I mean. Your new salary scales will start in March, and the arrears for January and February will also be paid in March.
In a further boost to operational capacity, President John Dramani Mahama commissioned a fleet of new vehicles, part of government's ongoing retooling program for the military. The 10,000 unit housing project is expected to significantly ease accommodation pressure across the armed forces as government positions welfare, retooling and readiness at the center of national security planning. Shadrach Odame Ejare, Metro News, Accra.
You're still watching Newsbeat here on Good Afternoon Ghana. Now we turn our attention to some politics. And with only 7 days remaining until the New Patriotic Party elects its flag bearer for the 2028 general elections, a new survey has placed former Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia in a commanding position to secure the mandate of the party delegates. The final predictive model released by Global Info Analytics suggests that the Bawumia factor remains the dominant force in the internal race. Executive Director of Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, spoke on the poll in an earlier interview on Inside Pages.
We have to make a prediction as to how we expect the race would end. And on that prediction, we are saying that Bawumia is likely going to be on 57%, plus or minus 3% margin of error. Kennedy is going to be on 28%, plus or minus 3% margin of error. Brian Acheampong, which is quite high in the mark here, is doing 13%, plus or minus 3% margin of error. And Dr. Educhum, 2%, plus or minus margin of error. And so is Kobna Acheampong. Now, what you will see is that Brian was on 13%, or is on 13%. In the headline poll, he is on 6%. So what has happened between the headline poll and the predictions? The predictions, remember, will use as much information as we have in the headline poll, together with other information that we have. What we've seen is a dramatic shift in the race, not from Bawumia, but from Kennedy to Brian Acheampong. In the last few days, 4 days gone by, we have seen people who are moving from Kennedy to Brian Acheampong. Now, the reason why you see Brian Acheampong, despite being 6% on the model, is got to 13%. Look, it will not change the race from somebody being behind suddenly to lead the race. On the basis of just the raw data, if you add 21% to Kennedy's number of 25, it gets 46%. It doesn't overtake Bawumia on 48%.
Okay.
And that is the most unrealistic thing you can do. So in that unlikely scenario, then you can say that there will be runoff. But the runoff requires just a person to have 50 plus 1. And Bawumia will just need about 2% or so from that 21 to cross the hurdle. So Bawumia is much closer to finish line than any of the other candidates. Now, we've also not just stopped there. We went through the data to analyze what is happening. We have realized that in the last few days when the model was finalized, that it is very likely about 22% of those who are not disclosing are voting for Brian Acheampong. That's why Brian Acheampong was high. Before, he was much lower, and Kennedy was getting over 60% of those who are not disclosing. But since the events of last week, people have moved from Kennedy Acheampong to Brian Acheampong. That is why now about 45% of people, of those who are not disclosing, we think are going to go for Ken. However, another 35% of the same group who are disclosing are also voting for Bawumia. So that split is not as one-way traffic as people will think, because not every elections are the same. This election is different.
Meanwhile, a member of the NDC communication team, Theophilus Jemega Jr., Esquire, and a member of NPP communications team, Lawratu Musa Saka, have lamented the declining values in Ghanaian politics, describing it as a worrying development. They both spoke on Good Morning Ghana.
Sometimes people are so fickle-minded that they forget all you have done until the last day. So what you are saying, it isn't that your expectation, your expenditure for the last day is that you want to. But the people have forgotten you have ever visited them.
Last day.
Look, all this, they have gone round. I mean, pick certain constituencies and ask them. They might not tell you how Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia looked like when he came to address them. How Kennedy Agyapong came when they were not there for whatever he came to talk about. They came to take their 200 or 100 and they are gone. They are waiting for tomorrow. And you see, it is not like it's just the MPP primaries that is bringing this out. We have been like that for a while. We have been like that. You see, and if you read this man's book, he gave me an autographed copy, Professor Lumumba's book. He itemized it that he campaigned throughout his village and his opponent came in the night or the morning and gave money and won the election. and he's a professor. So it isn't just a Ghana problem, I would say.
Cut across.
Yes. It isn't just a Ghana problem.
People used to vote people based on what they can offer them. Then we got to a point where they were complaining that when we vote for them and they come to Accra, we don't see them till there's another contest. So whatever they have for us, let's take it. And human being and greed sets in. Like my brother is saying, it's sort of like going back. Even aspirants now have offices within, or they make avenues for people contacting them available. It's continuous education. Because not knowing where the money you are taking from comes is no longer a factor. It's like our morals have decayed so much to the point where people are now looked at. How smart you are now depends on how much you can pay. Right. How valuable your voice is depends on how much you can pay. Else, why will even money be an issue in an MPP primaries? A party that is built on ideas and development. How does money become a conversation? That is where we are getting, and we all need to reorient ourselves and go in. What are we here for? Yeah. We are indefinitely, there are still people who vote based on conscience, but they've become the minority. Now, doing right is not cool. Yeah. How you can beat the system shows how smart you are.
Away from that, residents of East Legon Hills community made up of Regional Estate Phase 2, Communication Estate, Ridgeview Estate, among others, have endured persistent water shortages for more than 60 months, with some of the areas facing the challenge for nearly 2 years. The residents say several appeals made to authorities have yielded no results. Metro News spoke to aggrieved community members who shared their frustration and called for urgent action.
Hills community, which is made up of many estates, the Red Road, the Ridgeview, the Communication, and many others. And they have a water problem here. Some for 14 months, they've not had water. Some 2 years and counting, and many others a year and so on. And they've been reporting the issue to the authorities for them to take care of this for them. but nothing has been done so far. This coming Monday, on the 26th of January 2026, they are making a petition at the Ghana Water Company. The issue is, if you're not coming, then we'll come in there ourselves.
This water issue has been causing us a financial burden because we have to rely on buying water from private suppliers, and this is really bad because water is a basic necessity that all of us are supposed to enjoy as citizens, but we end up buying water. Me in particular, I have to be buying water. I have a family of 6, so I have to be buying water 600 cedis every week. Every week. And my neighbors can attest to that.
So it takes me 500 cedis to fill up one tank for 2 weeks, which is really expensive. And the water is not even potable water, because the other day one of the tankers actually confessed and told us it's not water, it's a well. They're actually fetching it from a well. And I asked him, so what is the level of treatment? He said there's some white things they drop in there. I have no idea what that is. But apparently we're getting well water being sold to us as potable water. And I myself have been getting allergies. I've been getting allergic reactions. Just the other day, I put the two together. That when I started getting all these strange rashes and reactions. And I noticed it's when I stopped getting Ghana water. So obviously it's affecting our health. It's affecting our bank account. It's affecting the quality of our life. And Ghana water has not been able to give us any reasonable reasons why we as law-abiding citizens are not getting access to potable water.
And for close to 2 years now, we've never had water. We buy water from the water tankers, and every week we spend close to like 400 cedis a week. Depending on your family size, you might even spend more. Okay. So for me, I spend like 400 cedis in every 2 weeks. So a week like 200, yes. Okay. And that's a lot for my pockets. So we need to do something about it.
This has been going on for a while. At times, people skip work just to go there. We go there, they tell us. I think the last time they promised us it will come on Sunday. Some few hours to that's proposed day, they said there's a pipe that has burst, so the water won't flow again. And we've been going there times without number, and they've been given several excuses, but nothing happens.
Yeah, we've been living here for I think about 8 years now, and I would say 2023 we used to have water quite frequently, but getting to the latter part of 2023 we didn't get water. The whole of 2024 no water, and in fact last year 2025 we had only 1 day. I think that was Christmas, around Christmas time. So it's been very hectic here. We spend so much money on water, even more than electricity.
Now let's turn our attention to some other stories. And illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing activities are intensifying in Ghana's Volta waters, raising fresh concerns over the destruction of aquatic ecosystems and the enforcement of fisheries laws. Monitoring operations by the Center for International Maritime Affairs Ghana have uncovered widespread use of banned fishing methods by some artisanal fishers, with allegations of complicity by community leaders now drawing the attention of law enforcement authorities. Samuel Asamoah has more.
Routine monitoring operations by Center for International Maritime Affairs Ghana, CIMAG, has detected a surge in the reliance on dynamite fishing, calcium carbide, light fishing, and the use of monofilament nets. The organization has uncovered that fishers from Ada, Tema, Ningo, and Pram in connivance with some opinion leaders are complicit in the outlawed practices that have severe ecological implications. The team, during its monitoring exercise, chanced on a case involving light fishers from Ada who were arrested in the whole sea within Anglong waters by a task force and handed to the relevant authorities. The case was later referred to the police, due to an alleged interference by some opinion leaders and elders of the community. Our independent dosing has established that some chiefs in the area are frantically demanding an out-of-court settlement of the case. Leader of the Anti-Illegal Fishing Task Force, Xavier Akwali, tells our reporter that the IUU fishing is becoming rampant in the Volta waters, warranting swift and strict action. Akwali indicated that he decided to take the matter to the police station due to an alleged threat from the chief fisherman of the community.
Life fishing on mule. Daka, Malaya Bofia, we know, no life fishing there. You got a similar water. We found good enough of you do never know. I don't know Kona Boji. I bear as a phone. When?
Now, the newly inaugurated president of the International Association of Impact Assessment Ghana, Joseph Yeboah, has announced plans to advance professional certification and registration for environmental and social practitioners, describing it as critical to restoring credibility, accountability, and public confidence in environmental practice. He was speaking at the association's dinner and handing over ceremony in Accra.
Joseph Yeboah was sworn in as president alongside a new 4-member council comprising Kojo Amoyao Sei as vice president, Nana Kesiwa Akese as secretary, and Kwachi Kwabena Manfi as treasurer. 6 board of directors were also sworn in to support the new council. Joseph Yeboah in his address stressed that professionalism would be central to his administration. He also outlined a 3-point agenda to guide the association's work.
I firmly believe that inclusivity, collaboration, and locally driven innovation are the strongest pillars of sustainable development. Our approach will therefore be grounded in knowledge sharing, partnership, and context-specific solutions that empower communities while advancing our professional mandate. My vision as president for the next 2 years is to position IAI Ghana affiliate as the foremost professional body driving excellence in impact assessment and shaping Ghana's sustainability agenda.
The immediate past president of International Association for Impact Assessment, Apa Sampong, reflecting on the outgoing administration's achievement, noted that effort had been made to increase the association's visibility during his tenure.
Have an office and a secretariat for IIA. We think that if we have that, it will be more visible. People can identify where we are and work in as and engage. That we couldn't do. We initiated some discussions, visited some of our members who have firms to see whether they can even give us a small office and where we can have a small secretariat for IIA. It's something that we leave for the next government to do.
The event, which brought together IAIA members, environmental professionals, and invited guests, was under the theme Professionalizing Environmental Practice in Ghana, the role of IAIA in charting the way forward on certification and registration.
Now, the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, has announced an increase in the quarterly allocation for the adjudication of cases from 30,000 cedis to 50,000 cedis. He has also announced a 300% increment in the monthly allowances of paramount chiefs and queen mothers. According to the minister, traditional leaders play a critical role not only in preserving cultural heritage, but also in maintaining peace, and promoting social cohesion across the country.
Addressing chiefs and queen mothers At the Volta Regional House of Chiefs as part of his familiarization visit to the region, the sector minister Ahmed Ibrahim acknowledged the vital role traditional leaders play in preserving heritage, maintaining peace, resolving disputes and promoting social cohesion. However, he noted that inadequate financial allocations to the House of Chiefs have negatively affected the timely delivery of justice. To address the challenge, the minister announced that government has increased the quarterly allocation for adjudication of cases from 30,000 cedis to 50,000 cedis.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, has taken steps and has therefore increased the quarterly allowances for the adjudication of cases from 30,000 Ghana cedis to 50,000 Ghana cedis per quarter, effective 1st April 2025. And I strongly believe that this will go a long way to help in the expeditious adjudication of cases in our regional House of Chiefs.
In addition, the minister announced a 300% increase in the monthly allowances of paramount chiefs and queen mothers.
Government recognizes that meaningful development at the local level cannot be achieved without the partnership of these traditional house and traditional authorities. In this regard, the monthly allowances of our paramount chiefs and queen mothers have been substantially increased by the John Mahama administration about 300%.
Briefing the House on development in the road sector, the Minister of Roads and Highways, Governs Kwame Agboja, assured the chiefs that President John Dramani Mahama has demonstrated strong national leadership by settling nearly 7 billion in outstanding payment owed to contractors.
Since the biggest problem we had why the contractors were not working was because of lack of payment, he's prioritized payment. As of 31st December 2025, I am convinced that his government, through the Ministry of Finance, has paid close to 7 billion Ghana cedi owed contractors. Togbe President, almost all these contractors were contracts awarded before he came to become president again.
The paramount chief of the Fiavi traditional area, Togbe Agama Amata, commended President John Dramani Mahama for his performance, particularly in strengthening the chieftaincy ministry.
What we are seeing in terms of the big push is so wonderful. And we think that the NDC has outperformed. For a very long time, our chiefs, paramount chiefs, have been agonizing under financial hardships, and it's this.
And that's it for the news updates here on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Ekia Ababu. Over to you, Bright.
Well, Ekia, thank you so much for that quick update from around the country. You're still watching Good Afternoon here on Metro TV, on DSTV channel 277, on Facebook, YouTube, every single place on social media. We can be found there at Metro TV Ghana or Metro TV GH. Don't you go anywhere. After this break, the conversations will begin. Stay with us.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ampedu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Asari.
How is business doing?
My business is collapsing.
Why is your business collapsing?
I sold my products and services to my clients on credit, and my debtors are not paying their debt.
Have you heard of Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company operating in all the 16 regions of Ghana?
Not at all.
Mr. Ampedu, all you need to do is to contact them on their customer service line. I recommend Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company to financial institutions, businessmen and businesswomen, other companies, and also individuals. Rosic Consult has 98.4% debt recovery rate. We have professional debt recovery managers. You are assured of swift debt recovery. No recovery, no commission. For Rosic Consult Limited, no more write-offs. And we pre-finance the recovery ourselves.
The festive season is here again,
and your most preferred estate partner is giving you 25% discount on land sale. Yes, for our Bronya Asase promo, Estate Masters is offering this massive discount for outright purchases. This includes free indenture, free site plan, and a free site visit. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure a plot of land while it is still hot. Reach out to us using the numbers below or visit our website at www.estatemastersgh.com. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Zoomlion Private Services Limited, your waste management expert. One of the most innovative aspects of our business is our commitment to adopting cutting-edge technologies and sustainable practices in the waste management industry. We have invested in modern waste collection trucks, digital payment systems. We have also implemented efficient waste segregation systems and also developed strategic partnerships with our various stakeholders in the waste management value chain. I can talk about our innovative approach that enables us to reduce waste disposal costs, also minimize our environmental impact, and provide our clients with seamless customer service experience. We are the waste management experts.
This is a chance of a lifetime. My opportunity. Your opportunity. Let's build Ghana together.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Oh, we are the number one.
The 15th Gold Bond RTP Awards 2025 is here. The prestigious award is slated for Saturday, 7th February 2026 at the Accra International Conference Center. Red carpet starts at 6 p.m. The event will also award the top 10 most performed public company CEOs of 2025, with lots of artists performing on the night. The 15th Gold Bond RTP Awards is powered by Big Events Ghana and sponsored by Gold Bond, Visa Kim, RTP Media Training Institute, RTP Skills Development Institute, RTP Mall, Agrifet Ghana, CocoFit, Knee Fashion, Coco Trade Ghana, Ride Along, A to Z Auto Services, and Specialized Mineral Water.
For Desmond Okreku Danso to win the Best TV Male Entertainment Show Host of the Year award, dial *920*111# and enter nominee code 134 to vote.
the question they ask is, for how long will they continue to survive on the streets?
The streets are not just pathways for cars and pedestrians. They also serve as homes and offices for some persons with disability. Some were born with disabilities, others were shaped by life's harsh circumstances. But they share one thing in common: survival on the streets, where they are left behind by a system that failed them and promises that never arrived.
Every single day I always come here to beg. If I don't beg, I won't get anything to buy food or to buy even soap or dress to wear.
Al-Hassan Seidu does not entirely depend on the streets for survival, but he's one of the many people with disabilities who have grown weary of the struggle.
My personal problem or my challenges for now is accessibility. Accessibility, if you get to the various offices, how to get access to the thing that you are going there to do. That is one thing. Another thing is job opportunities. I'm not talking of maybe white-collar jobs and other things. There are various job opportunities that are designed for persons with disabilities. But in Ghana, here, it's like those kind of jobs. It's rather, we are rather being pushed away from those kind of jobs. Let's take, for example, if you go to various bus terminal, we can equally sell tickets for passengers. But if you go to the station and you see able-bodies sitting there selling the tickets.
He tells me they are constantly faced with discrimination that robs them of dignity and hope.
At the end of the day, they are rather putting blame on us that it's like persons with disabilities like going to the street to be begging for alms and other things, and which is not the case. Not everybody, but at least it will have been released some of the burden on the nation. Transport station or bus stops. If you are a person with disability, immediately the bus stop and see you sitting on a wheelchair or holding a white cane or having any form of disability, it takes the grace of God and some few people to consider you for you to get the bus to join. If it's a private, let's say these taxis and other things, they just rule you out that I can't take you.
In Ghana, all registered persons with disability are entitled to benefit from the District Assembly's Common Fund, where a dedicated 3% allocation is meant to support their welfare and livelihoods. Yet, accessing these funds remain a challenge.
Okay, since I wrote the Common Fund during the time MPP was on power. Up to date, I do not hear anything out of it. That's why when they say there's no any common fund account, what always come is small. So they have to do small. Up to date, I have not even received what I need.
Common fund said
it's been 4 years since we applied for the common fund, but nothing has been done about it.
4 years.
Their call highlights the urgent need for equal and fair distribution of the funds.
Well, every coin and every meal brings temporary relief but not lasting solution. For persons with disabilities on the streets, without long-term interventions such as accessible health.
And there you have it, my colleague Equia Ababi, who was out there having a conversation with persons with disability, I beg your pardon. And that was advocacy. As after many years of advocacy, many persons with disabilities in Ghana still struggle to survive, despite their legal right to a share of District Assembly's Common Fund. Accessing these funds has become a constant struggle. Metro News' Equia Ababi, as you saw there, spent time with them with disability on the streets of Accra, and she came through with some reports right there as you saw. We are going to give you some other stories here on that issue. But let me just tell you that we have the conversation in studio on this matter. Now, the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Momolati has assured that government is set to increase the District Assembly Common Fund allocation from 3% to 5% in 2026. She spoke exclusively to Metro News. I beg your pardon, we'll bring that shot to you later. But for now, I have been joined in studio by the Ghana Federation of Disabilities, an organization which envisions an inclusive society for all persons with disability here in Ghana. And I have a very nice gentleman who is joining me here in the studio this afternoon. Thank you so much and welcome to our studios. We are grateful.
Thank you very much.
First of all, we are trying to trace what exactly is happening to the number of Ghanaians who are here and with disability, and what exactly the make of government involvement in making sure that they are also having a good livelihood. Let me engage you on that. Speak to me.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Yeah, exactly so. We see persons with disabilities on the streets because they lack skills, they lack the economic capacity, they are unemployed, and they need to make livelihood, and that is why they are on the street begging for alms.
Right. Now, just like you heard the lead I just read, we've been told that there's going to be an increase from 3% to 5%. Have you heard that? And how do you take this?
Yeah, it's a great news for the persons with disabilities fraternity, because in the past it used to be 3%, and so 3% was not enough for the population of persons with disabilities in each district. 3% common fund and for persons with disabilities in the district means that this money will be shared or will be given or address the needs of persons with disabilities within a particular district and cut across all the districts in Ghana. And these funds are transferred every quarter. Raising it from 3% to 5%, it means that there's going to be more money for persons with disabilities in the district. The 3% was not enough. Even 5% is still not enough, but it will be better. It will take quite a number of persons with disabilities.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But from your experience, what do you think are some of the biggest hindrances that have prevented you over the years from accessing government work and opportunities?
Yes. The biggest hindrance has to do with skills, training. Most persons with disabilities don't have the skills, the education, the capacity to be able to work. And apart from that, there's a lot of stigma, a lot of discrimination among employers. People think that disabled people are not fit for job, or what the need is to be given some arms to survive. But persons with disabilities who have the capacity to work, if they are given the skills, they are given the training, they can match up as just like their able colleagues.
And if I may ask you this may be a very crucial question to you, because I know that one way or the other you may see a number of Ghanaians, of persons who are on the streets of Accra, whether here Accra or Kumasi or wherever. A number of them appear to be on our streets, particularly begging from passing vehicles and all that, or persons. What do you think we can do to curb such issues? Because I don't think yourself will be happy about this.
Yeah. I am not happy. The disability community is not happy, as well as the whole Ghanaians are not happy. But the reality on the ground is that these people don't have the economic capacity to make livelihood. So I think that the best way to address this is to train these people and give them the support through startup capital or something to work with. Because most of these trainings happen without giving them some startups or money to start business. I can talk about the rehabilitation centers where disabled people go to have some skills.
Right. When
people complete these rehabilitation centers, there's no funds to be able to establish them. They are asked to, they graduate them and then they are asked to go and fend for themselves. They don't have money to get themselves established.
Right.
To practice their trade. So you find them on the street. Most of these people you find on the street have, most of them have attended these rehabilitation centers, but they don't have funds to establish. So that is why we get them on the street. So government must discourage people being on the streets. That is what I think. Government must discourage and must not allow people to be on the street. And in that effect, government must make provision for them. Government must provide resources, provide training for these people so they can be gainfully employed.
Yeah. But would you also say that Ghanaians, or probably the government of Ghana, has sidelined persons with disability here in Ghana? Would you say that?
Well, I would not say that in totality, because government goes, government comes.
Right.
I think past governments have not done well with us. And that is why we see these things happening. Because, you know, I mean, it takes a lot of time to get people trained, get them established, and get them to generate their own income. It takes a lot of time. It doesn't happen overnight. So all these people we have seen on the streets began their life way back some years. And so they end up on the street because they have no livelihood, they have no economic support. That is why we find them on the streets.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And another question I want to ask you is the Ghana Federation of Disabilities. How is your relationship with government, being it previous or current?
Yes, our relationship with government is very good. We collaborate with government. We lobby, we advocate for rights and provisions should be made for persons with disabilities. And we are in good terms with government. Yeah.
All right, then, but if let's say the President, John Dramani Mahama, for today should call you and ask you what exactly your request for your colleagues would be, what one thing are you going to tell him?
Well, I will congratulate him because he's done a lot already. He's giving free tertiary education for persons with disabilities. He's increased the common fund from 3% to 5%. He's providing motorized wheelchairs for persons with disabilities. I would further ask that persons with disabilities are given training to make them employable, and also giving resources, funds to get them established, especially for those in the informal sector, those who are not educated. That is where the huge problem is. They need to be trained, given capital to establish on their own. There are some who cannot be trained, and those people, we can extend the LEAP program to them. I can say that the LEAP program need to be improved, because sometimes the LEAP delays, for 3 months, and one cannot survive waiting for 3 months. So these people should be put on another program where cash transfer is given to them, those who are beyond the economic capacity. Those who have gone to school, there should be arrangements for them to get them employed. And I think the President has said it, that 5% employment quota will be given to persons with disabilities. So both public and private institutions will ensure that their workforce, 5%, are persons with disabilities. Sometimes presidents make declaration, but it takes their implementers, it takes the ministries, the departments, the agencies to implement it as soon as possible. So that is where, those are the areas that I'll stress when I meet President Mahama.
That's quite It looks like you've actually sat and thought of this. But can you hold on for me? Let's go and listen to the minister, where the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Namu-Mulati, is assuring that government is set to increase the District Assembly Common Fund allocation from 3% to 5%.
I say that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is not just saying to Ghanaians or promising Ghanaians to reduce vulnerability, but he's put a lot of effort in ensuring that his words don't just remain words, but also get the needed commitment to implement them. So you see that the disability fund at the district level has seen improvement from 3% to 5% last year, and this year it was captured in the budget. So 2026 we are expecting that implementation. The collaboration with the local government, is also very important. So for us, it's the coordinating role, the collaboration, and monitoring to ensure that these things are not just stated, but they are fully implemented, so that they can assess their funds and use them to, capacitate them to be able to develop and grow fully as citizens of Ghana. So the increment of the fund is one thing. Monitoring to ensure full implementation is another one. And so as the disbursement commences, we're going to make sure that we monitor and also report on them.
And there you have it from the Minister for Gender, Na Momo, telling us that this year there'll be an increase in amount of money given to our friends, brothers and sisters with disability. And I'm still here with Alexander Koju-Tete, who's the Executive Director for Center for Employment and Persons with Disability at the Ghana Federation of Disability Organization here in the studio. Let me come back to you, Mr. Alex. Have you tried, say, applying for a job at an institution, or probably your colleagues, and they were turned down because of, quote-unquote, their situation?
Yes, several times. I mean, if you listen to the organization that I represent, Center for Employment of Persons with Disabilities, so we facilitate employment for disabled people. Disabled people submit their CVs to us, and then we go around, contact employers and then see how they can employ these people. And so number of times disabled people have faced the challenge of discrimination, apply for jobs. Sometimes they look at the CV, the qualifications, and they are invited for interview. The mere sight of them in the interview, it throws the interview panel off. You could see from their faces that they were not expecting somebody walking like this, or somebody who is blind, or somebody who is deaf.
Right.
So there's a lot of discrimination against persons with disabilities when it comes to employment.
I asked that question because I want to find out from you how effective the social protection programs have been for you.
The social protection programs need to be improved.
Right.
Yeah, because I would say that currently the social protection programs is not protecting persons with disabilities enough. We need to do a lot. And as I speak, we have amended, or we've tried to amend the Persons with Disability Act. So there's an amended Persons with Disability Act at the ministries now, which is yet to go to Parliament, because there's a lot of things that are not covered when you compare it with the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. And so we think that persons with disabilities need a lot of provisions to support them to be able to live a meaningful life.
And before I let you leave, let me ask you this: on top of your head, are you able to tell me probably a percentage of persons with disability in Ghana who are officially working actively? Are you able to tell me that?
Actively working?
Yes.
Because the Ghana Statistical Service gave 8% as the population of persons in Ghana who have some form of disability. The percent that 8%, I think about 20% should be employed. Yeah.
But is that not less?
Yeah,
20% out of 8% of persons with disability in Ghana these are the only figures of people who are actually working officially. Is that not a big concern?
Yes, it's very, very less, because I mean you can't find disabled people working because our environments are not accessible. There are a lot of barriers, inaccessible environments, employers not willing to employ persons with disabilities.
Right.
They are all barriers that impede persons with disabilities to get employment, even though they are qualified, have all the qualifications to work. So these are the things that we think that the government policy on 5% quota for persons with disabilities in both public and private institutions will work. Because you know, currently most of the employment are done by agents, employment agencies, and it's difficult for them to get persons with disabilities to be part of their system to get them employed.
And these are sorry to cut you, but then are these private agencies?
Yeah, these are private agencies, and so they employ for the private sector. For government, we think that government must lead the way. There are a lot of employment that goes on, but sometimes it's not advertised. Before you hear, people are employed.
Already employed.
And so how do we get on board?
Right.
And so that's the challenge. Local government will employ, ministries and departments will employ. You don't get to hear about them. So we persons with disabilities who don't have connections, who don't have any big man somewhere, or an MP to lead us or to add us to their quota, we are left behind. So that is where we think the government must really come in. Otherwise, would have persons with disabilities attending universities, getting their first degree, second degree, PhD, but would still not be employed.
I mean, when you go to the international front, foreigners or people who actually visit Ghana will tell you that Ghanaians are very hospitable. Our level of hospitality is about 120%. I mean, towards persons with disability in Ghana, are Ghanaians hospitable towards you?
No, they are not. They are not. I mean, I think about 3 years ago, a British visited Ghana. He says that she did a research and said Ghana is the worst place for a person with disability to live in. Yeah, some of us thought that it was too harsh, but that is the reality. Disabled people suffer a lot when it comes to Ghana. For example, take parents who have children with disabilities, especially when it comes to cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, children, autistic children. I mean, there's no provision made for them. There are no schools apart from these a few state institutions that make provision for the education of people with cerebral palsy and Down syndrome and autism. There are no state schools, on the large scale, to educate such people. There are no provisions for their parents to get some support to take care of them. So, but these parents get to lose their job for having such children. They get to lose their marriage and families for having such children. They get to lose all their friends and loved ones because of these children. There's sometimes even in the churches, you have a child with cerebral palsy and nobody would like to sit by you. Yeah. Nobody will want to get close to you. So that is the reality in our state. It's unfortunate we don't have time, but there are huge issues when it comes to disability in Ghana.
I'm supposed to be wrapping up with you, but before I let you go, you just told me that there are huge issues facing disability persons here in the country. Like you mentioned, they've been in churches, people don't want to sit close to you and all that. Not to say that hemophilia is a disability, but I mean, parents with kids who are suffering from hemophilia also have their own issues they are going through and all that. As a country that hospitality is one of our hallmarks on the international front, how do you think we can also, stretch it towards people, persons with disability in the country, to also make them feel like they are part of us, they are loved and wanted?
I think that we need to do more education, we need to do more sensitization. People must understand that disability is part of us, and anybody can, it's anybody's lot anytime. I mean, sometimes I tell my able colleagues that you are only able temporarily. Because anything can happen to you. I mean, you might fall, accidents or whatever, and you become disabled. So we should create environments that is conducive for everybody. I mean, if we put up structures and buildings, and we create the steps, we need to have a ramp aside, so that tomorrow, if you are not able to walk and you sit in a wheelchair like myself, you'll be able to wheel through to get into the facility. There are people who put up buildings and they are able to climb to the first, second, and third floor, but they age, and then gradually they are not able to walk on the steps like they used to do.
Right.
That is all disability. So it's a state where we should prepare the minds of everybody. That is a state that we can get in. There are people who are born with disability. There are people who get disability in their life journey. So it's something that we cannot avoid. Everybody will get old. If you don't die at your youthful age, you get older. And when you get older, you will definitely be in a wheelchair.
Right. I mean, now it's easier to see what is happening in other countries. I mean, when you go on social media, you may see videos of persons with disability in other countries that are living alone. I mean, living their lives, because pavements are made to favor them, public transports are made to favor them, a lot of things there are made to favor them. As a country, do you think we are not conscious about the involvement of persons with disability here in the country?
Yes, I think we are not conscious and we are not consistent. We give them it's more of lip service. We are not actual. We are not. I don't want to use the word serious. We actually don't mean what we say.
Just for clout.
Yeah, just for clout, just for political points. But when it comes to reality, we don't do the things from our hearts.
Right.
So we are where we are because we are not real. I mean, I've traveled a lot. I've gone to UK, US, Denmark, and all of them they are this word intentional. They are intentional about the involvement of persons with disabilities. So every planning, they make sure that the interests of persons with disabilities are factored in it. We need to be intentional as a country and know that in our population we have able, we have disabled. Just like we have male and female, we have able and disabled. If we talk about the youth, we talk about women, we need to talk about persons with disabilities. If we are talking about inclusion, inclusion must involve persons with disabilities. Inclusion is not only about gender. Inclusion includes persons with disabilities. I mean, if you go to organizations, institutions, corporate organizations, and they call you their inclusion officer, all you'll be talking about is gender inclusion. That is great, but inclusion must also involve provisions for persons with disabilities so that we don't leave them behind.
All right. Thank you so much. Before we say bye to you, is there something you feel you wanted to say that you've not said yet?
Well, I don't know, but I want to say that these platforms are great platforms where we need to, you need to make provision for us, because as much as you make provision for us to come and speak, you also, I mean, prepare for yourself in the future. Whatever provision you make for persons with disabilities is a provision that you are making for yourself, because everybody one time will become disabled. Who imagined that our former president, John Agyekum Kufuor, will be sitting in the wheelchair today? Yeah, so it's a provision that we all have to make. If he knew that he would be in a wheelchair, he would have made the whole country accessible.
Right. Thank you so much for coming. We're grateful. And I've been here with Alexander Kujutete, Executive Director for Center for Employment of Persons with Disabilities at the Ghana Federation of Disability Organization here on Good Afternoon Ghana. A quick one before I let you go. Listen to these figures. You told me that according to the Statistical Service, only 8%, like the number of disability persons in Ghana are 8% out of the entire 35 million. And that is an amount to 280,000 persons who are here in Ghana are persons with disability, if I'm correct. I mean, from the figures you gave me.
So that's the legal, I mean, of course, that's the figure that a state institution has given us. But for us, we think that we are more than that. 8%.
I'm even saying this because when you mentioned that out of the 8%, only 20% out of the 8% are working.
Yes.
That's about 56,000 persons out of the 280,000 persons. That's a lot.
It should even be less.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
don't
much.
go anywhere. We've been talking about persons with disabilities and how best government and individuals can help them with their lives and ease their livelihoods. So don't go anywhere. We're still here on Good Afternoon Ghana. I am Bryce Nanakwesiam, and we return from the break with more.
Healthy soil is where every great harvest begins. At ACAP, we turn waste into wealth, producing rich organic compost made right here in Ghana for our farmers and our future. Whether you are planting small or big, ACAP compost improves your soil, boosts your yields, and saves you money. Even in your own home garden, give your soil life naturally. ACAP compost, from waste to wealth.
Welcome to Rehoboth Havens Ayumensa, making home ownership simple and achievable for Ghanaians at home and abroad, starting from just 675,000 Ghana cedis. Situated within the serene hills of Ayumensa Danfa, Rehoboth Havens offers breathtaking views of the Pediasi Ebri Mountains. Here, we provide a peaceful environment meticulously designed for modern living. This is more than just a house, it's a lifestyle. Rehoboth Havens is a secure gated community featuring beautifully landscaped surroundings, a dedicated recreational center, unmatched comfort, safety, and peace of mind. For many Ghanaians living abroad, owning a property back home can feel like a distant dream. At Rehoboth Havens, we believe everyone deserves a place to call their own, a space for family, a lasting legacy, and a smart investment for the future. We offer spacious 2, 3, and 4-bedroom homes, move-in ready and designed for modern living. Don't wait. Secure your future today. Call us on 0553 751 933 or 0206 823 524 or 0244 764 499. Rehoboth Social Housing. Your housing dream becomes reality.
Welcome to GH Schools, your #1 training institute that offers practical-based tuition in media and a variety of skill acquisition-related areas. At GH Media School, we offer journalism and media studies, journalism and media arts, TV and film production, and multimedia production. Also, you are assured of the best beauty training with GH Cosmetology School. We offer training in massage and body therapy, makeup artistry, hair technology. Realize your dream of becoming an astute fashion designer with GH Fashion School. Here, we offer training in bridal wear, suits, ladies and men's wear, children's wear, and millinery. Do you have the interest of preparing sumptuous and tasty foods that meet local and international standards? Then, GH Catering School is the best place for you. We offer training in cookery, pastry and beverage production, events decoration, and hotel management. Be abreast with the current technological trends as you train with GH GH Technology School. We offer computer systems, hardware and software, CCTV installation, home security, and many more. GH Schools makes available well-equipped studios and workstations to give our learners the practical and industrial standard experience during tuition. Hostel facilities are also available. Instant admission is in progress. Register now. Purchase your admission forms online on www.admissions.gaschools.online. Locate us at Achimota Abofu Junction opposite the Shell filling station. You can also contact us on 0544 622 250, 0577 622 250, 0204 622 250, and 0277 622 250. GH Schools. We say train, practice, achieve.
This is a chance of a lifetime. My opportunity. Your opportunity. Let's build Ghana together.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Oh, oh, we are the number one.
The 15th Gold Bond RTP Awards 2025 is here. The prestigious award is slated for Saturday, 7th February 2026 at the Accra International Conference Center. Red carpet starts at 6 p.m. The event will also award the top 10 most performed public company CEOs of 2025 with lots of artists performing on the night. The 15th Gold Bond RTP Awards is powered by Big Events Ghana and sponsored by Gold Bond, Visakin, RTP Media Training Institute, RTP Skills Development Institute, RTP Mall, AgriFed Ghana, CocoFit, Knee Fashion, Coco Trade Ghana, Ride Along, A to Z Auto Services, and Specialized Mineral Water.
For Good Morning Ghana to win the Best Television Morning Program of the Year award, dial star 920 star 111 hash and enter nominee code 100 to vote.
Thank you for staying with us here on Good Afternoon Ghana, live on DSTV channel 277, Facebook, YouTube, Metro TV Ghana, Instagram, X, Metro TV GH, also very active and loud. On TikTok, go on there, all our assets of our shows can be found there. Interesting, I've joined the studio for the first time, this is quite interesting, by Adam Bona, who is the current Executive Secretary to the National Commission on Small Arms. And we are talking everything small arms. So if you know that you have unregistered small arms in your home, in your car, at the office, probably you want to think twice and sit through this conversation for a bit of an education on how to handle these arms. So here, Ghana has extended its nationwide gun amnesty program to January 30, 2026, following allowing citizens to voluntarily surrender unregistered or illegal firearms to authorities without fear of prosecution. Initially launched on December 1, 2025, and previously set to end on January 15, 2026, the program aims to curb the proliferation of small arms and enhance national security. So, key details of the Ghana Gun Amnesty Program. Extension deadline, the program is now extended to January 30, 2026, following high demand and request to reach more individuals. The purpose is to reduce the number of illicit firearms in circulation, improve safety, and manage conflict, particularly ahead of potential security threats, and also no prosecution. Individuals who voluntarily surrender unregistered or illicit firearms to the police or designated authorities will not be arrested, interrogated, or prosecuted. Interesting. So the process, it says surrendered firearms are recorded, and those that are illegal will be confiscated and destroyed to ensure they do not return to the community. Results, I'm thinking this result is expected by them. The program has seen significant public interest, and with over 1,000 illegal firearms already retrieved. Consequences, after the deadline of January 30, 2026, strict legal actions will be taken against anyone found in possession of illegal weapons. And that is scary because Friday is the deadline. Friday is 30th. Dr. Adam Buddha. Good afternoon to you and welcome to the studio.
Good afternoon.
This is quite an interesting conversation.
Yes, it is. One will say, I'm sure you've seen the incidents of gun violence perpetrated, unfortunately, against, sorry, I have a bit of a sore throat, against some of our security officers.
Right.
Either with the NIMOs who are fighting to protect the environment and to protect our water bodies and the forest belts and protect, our farms and cocoa, or fighting police officers who go out there to fight crime.
Right.
Or, sometimes fighting military officers and chieftaincy disputes, landguardism. You can mention them. These are but a few. And once people have illicit weapons, what happens is that they tend to use them for the wrong reasons. It's the reasons why the gun amnesty was declared by the Honorable Interior Minister. So I would use this occasion to thank the Honorable Interior Minister and also thank the Board of the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons, the National Security, the police, and the allied security agencies. They've been of immense help. And of course, yourselves, the media. I must say, without the media, it would have been extremely impossible to get to where we are. You mentioned 1,000. That is then. We have crossed 3,000 as we speak, weapons that have been brought in.
3,000?
We've crossed 3,000. And these are weapons that were in the hands of people that they didn't have permit to carry them, weapons that called them before they were surrounded, they were illicit. So from December 7th, December 1st, till date, as at last week, we've crossed 3,000 weapons that have been brought in. So it tells you that a lot would have to be done, and we need yourselves, the media. We need the general population to come on board, because then instead of dialoguing with our mouths, we tend to attempt to dialogue with who has the most powerful weapon, which is not our nature. You know how Sierra Leone went down, you know how Liberia went down, you know how Niger, you know how Mali, you can talk about, all this, and even Nigeria. You know how all these countries are suffering because of the illicit weapons that, bandits are using against them. And so Ghana cannot go down that same lane. It's the reasons why the Interior Ministry, when the Small Arms Commission Board and management proposed to the Interior Ministry, it was quickly put together and it was sent to Cabinet, and thank you to the President and his Cabinet. I think they've also done a good job by allowing this amnesty. And the amnesty is to say, yesterday you were doing something that was wrong. Today, if you come in voluntarily to bring it, it is not wrong.
First of all, going into this campaign, did you have a projected figure of firearms that are owned illegally by people that you wanted to, retrieve, or you just left it to the, just to the public to bring in whatever firearm they have?
No, we have an idea. You know, the Small Arms commissioned a survey.
Right.
We commissioned a survey 10 years ago. It's a baseline survey. 10 years ago. Usually people say Kofi Annan. Kofi Annan were commissioned by us to do, what do you call it, that survey. So it's a Small Arms survey that actually came out to, you know, put out a figure over 1 million or so weapons in the hands of people, and that is
illegal.
Yes, weapons
at the time.
Yes, at the time
it was over 1 million,
and that's many years ago. And so, but you can't say at the moment it is the same figure because a lot of work have gone in. The only thing that probably we haven't done very well is for a very long time, and though some of you know myself and playing within the space. These are things that some of us constantly spoke about, that there are too many weapons in the hands of people. So fortunately, once I was put there, mine was to bring on board, together with my colleagues, you know, the expertise we have garnered over the years to make sure we retrieve these weapons in a more civilized way. You don't want a situation. So you are talking about over 3,000 weapons that have been surrounded. This directly will translate into 3,000 people who should have been behind bars today. 3,000 people from the 1st of December till today. Over 3,000 people should have been behind bars today because the possession of an illicit weapon is a first-degree felony.
And these persons walked into your office?
Yeah, they walked in. They walked
surrendered
into all the various police stations. You know, the arms, ammunition, units are all on board. And so you walk in there, you come to the head office of the Small Arms Commission, is one of the collection points. So we went through a process together with the police and the Interior Ministry, training the firearms officers who, you know, this is a specialized unit, whose work it is to. So we train them with regards to making sure you don't interrogate people, making sure you don't question people. All we want to bring the weapon.
Just bring it.
Just bring the weapon, simplicity.
But
and they brought the, and people voluntarily. I mean, I tell you that we have had people who, you know, deceased husbands or relations left weapons, and they said they didn't want the weapon, and they were too afraid to surrender them. They called us. We went for the weapons.
But are you not worried? I mean, you mentioned that the over 1 million projection that was made some time ago may either decrease or increase. And as we speak, between the 1st of December to today, the 26th of January, I wouldn't say only, but you have retrieved 3,000. Like you said, good impact. I mean, if you hadn't told them to bring it in and that they wouldn't face any prosecution, probably they wouldn't bring it.
All right.
But 3,000, we still have a long way to go. If I'm to speak again or speak by the figures you gave me, like over 1 million.
That's a period. And so within that period, a lot of arrests have been made and most of these weapons have been retrieved. But we still have some of them in the hands of people who really didn't know what to do with them. I mean, for instance, when we went to the Volta region, an 80-year-old man or a 90-year-old man, after our campaign, on our way, part of our work is to go around, you know, sensitizing the general public. On our way back, we stopped over at, is it the museum or something in the Volta region, where is one of the collection points. An old man who is in his 80s had walked in with a weapon that has not been regularized. He came in, we took him through the process, he left the weapon, and then if, you know, they go through the process and he's supposed to be, the weapon must be regularized for him, it will be regularized. If
so
you
there's
go
that,
to
there's
communities,
that option. There's that option to regularize the weapon for you.
Yes, but of course we need to go through the process of regularization. Regularization is just like Metro TV. Metro TV is one of the big TV stations, one of the old TV stations, and therefore you just didn't get up and set up your studio without permission. If you want to own a TV station, you apply, you go through the process, they check and make sure you won't use the, what do you call that, the TV station to call for Rwanda in Ghana. Right. For instance, we must make sure that you have presenters like you and your colleague I was mentioning, making sure you don't, Desmond, you are not doing things that would infringe on our, you know, safety and our safety and our security. And so for me, it is, we will not regularize a weapon for you when we think that you are someone who is noted for beating your girlfriend and very temperamental, the little thing you want to beat people, because we do background checks to make sure that you are someone who would not ordinarily just step out there and use a weapon on people. So yes, mine is that even if there are 1 billion firearms in Ghana, it's a privilege to own it. You must let the state know you have that weapon, and the state must give you a permit, the permit to have that weapon. And so it is not a right, like many other countries where, for instance, the USA, where part of their constitution allows you to own a weapon as many as possible. In Ghana, it is not that way. You must go through the process of regularization. We must know where you live. We must make sure you are not an ex-convict. We must make sure all the process has been outlined by law, where you know what you must do to own a firearm. And so, if you the fact that you bring it in does not necessarily, I mean, but we are encouraging people to bring them. But it's not, oh, I bring it in, and therefore we just register for you. But we have also had several others who have brought them in because they didn't need them. Right. You have others who are also. Ours is that we want to make sure that yourself and Desmond, if I'm not saying you have weapons, but if you had a weapon, the state knows where you are.
Right.
And you see, I believe you would have a car. If you have a car, chances are that you will not give that car to someone you know could use a car to commit a crime. Because if the car was used in commissioning of a crime, and even if the car left the scene, the car will be traced and whoever was driving will be arrested. The owner of the car would also be arrested. And you know that your license to even drive a car could be revoked by our laws. And so anything license means that it could be revoked. It's a privilege. And so for me, the Ghana amnesty is to allow citizens that room, that window, that for many years we haven't had. For many years, no amnesty was declared. Many years. And we didn't want a situation like I'm saying, between the 1st of December till now. You can imagine. It is just recently His Excellency's government increased the, what do you call that? The feeding fee for inmates in our various correctional facilities or prisons from 101 cedi, 80 pesos or so to 5 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
You know, and I say that I believe that if Ken had worked on it to improve it to about maybe 20 cedis, maybe he would have come back. You know, because then we should all work at decongesting our prisons. But when you look at the prison situation, I said that in passing. You know, I know you are.
Forgive me for laughing, but that was a hot job.
You get it. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that if we know how serious our correctional facilities, you will see my minister, the Minister of Interior, says he has specifically adopted the Ghana prisons.
Right.
There's a reason. My agency comes under him. The police comes under him. NACOC. Several is one of the biggest agencies. So for him to openly say, I have adopted Ghana prisons, it means there's a problem there.
Exactly.
And so I would say that if we can make it a bit better, because these 3,000 or so weapons will be tantamount to 3,000 or so people who would have been locked up behind bars. And like I'm telling you, I might want to repeat it in a very nice way. I'm sure if Ken had made it better, increase the feeding fee per day to 20 cedis, you wouldn't be afraid to come back, isn't it? 20 cedis a day.
Because you believe you may be.
No, because then if you make the situation better, you will not be afraid. You won't stay in exile. I'm not here because of. But what I'm trying to say is that I am not a fan. I'm not an advocate for custodial sentence.
Right.
I believe that you've stolen a bunch of bananas. Can we give you some suspended sentence or some go and sweep the streets?
Correctional.
You know, we go and do some work, or we bond you. But most of them go back and they come back damaged. Meanwhile, these are supposed to be correctional facilities. And so I'm not here for that. But what I'm saying is that these 3,000 weapons that have been brought in were brought in by individuals who would number more than 3,000, because there are more than 3,000 weapons as we speak, who would number more than. So these are potential ex-convicts by the law, which is the reason why, you know, government brought up this to make sure that we don't unnecessarily. Some of them, I tell you, a majority of everybody who brought his weapon actually means well.
But does it mean if I should bring my weapon on the 31st of January, I'll be prosecuted? Because probably I may not be around. I may be engaged in something else somewhere, doing a very legal.
Call us. Call any police station. Call your chief. call anybody, let them know you have this weapon, and all we want is the weapon
before
to be tended in.
it.
You are not around, but the weapon is there. You would have an assemblyman in your community. Let the assemblyman go to the police station and tell the police that I have so and so and so, even if it means the door would have to be broken into. If you report it, there will be a way to make sure it is done in a manner that is more civil, not that they are breaking in to loot or to ransack your place, because you know it's under a bed. And you know that if it stays there well over the amnesty period, you will be arrested and prosecuted. As for that, I can tell you there is no joke about it. Because we are going to roll out the informants and reward system. We are not buying back weapons.
Informant and reward. So the whistleblowers get a reward.
Exactly, the whistleblowers. You get a reward, handsome reward. I'm sure you would have 1 or 2 ex-girlfriends. Not when I say you, those who are watching us. You know, you have 1 or 2 ex-girlfriends. They know you have a weapon. The weapon is not registered. You left them and went in for their friend. We are asking those ex-girlfriends to tell us that you have a weapon. We would arrest you. We don't know. We don't want to know.
This is a very damaging strategy.
We don't want to know what happened and you guys went your separate ways.
Right.
You have your ex-husband, ex-wife, he has a weapon. We don't want to know. All we are interested in is retrieving our weapon. Because that weapon belongs to the state. Once it finds its way onto the territory of Ghana and it is not licensed to you, the law says it should be confiscated from you and kept. And so all we are saying is that if you don't and you keep it, do not think no one knows. We are not living on an island. You are not staying alone. People will know you have the weapon. Now, you know the funny thing, sometimes psychologists and those who understand the mentality of especially a good number of people who own weapons, some of them want to usually show off. Some don't. Some will want to show off. So you would have shown your weapon to your friend. He knows you don't have it. You did a business deal. The business deal is falling on the side. He will come and tell us that you have the weapon. So we'll catch you with the weapon, prosecute you, keep you in Nsaum for some 15 years, and then we give rewards to. Of course, that is what the law says. First degree felony, yes. It's a first degree. It's not one of those what do you call it, lighter, one of those crimes that, you commit and you will go in for up to a year or 2 years or 1 day. This is a serious crime. So all we are saying is that, please, do not keep the weapon.
But why don't you extend the days? I mean, from January 1st to December, it's...
To January...
Forgive me, from December 1st to January 30. Why don't you extend, let's say, we are doing this the entire year, we are doing this like 6 months. Why this very short period?
I don't have the authority to extend. The only person who has authority, the only people would be my minister and the president. I don't have authority. And so mine is that...
Are you able to recommend?
Well, I can recommend. You can also write to my minister. If you write to my minister, do a petition to my minister if you feel so. I mean, we are in a democracy, isn't it?
Right.
You are free to express your opinion. When we went to the voter region, the Asogli State, the leaders in Asogli State actually appealed. The regional minister, Honorable Gonu, also appealed. We've had several other notable people. Cyborg is now one of our ambassadors for Ghana Amnesty. I'm sure you know Cyborg, the man who shot in the sky. And people ask why. And we say that, you see, he knows, he who has gone through it would feel it, would know how it feels, isn't it?
Yes.
And so if I tend to use, let's say, Desmond's former boss, Dr. Randy Abbey,
right?
Dr. Randy Abbey should be an Ghana Amnesty ambassador. Yes, he has a large following, but you see, you can use persons like that together with those who have had first-hand experience when it comes to use of firearms. And I think it has worked. We are collaborating with him. We are collaborating with Cyborg and a few others. I mean, those who, we call them the managers of the streets. You can't take away from them. They are those who, when it's just a whistle and the streets would be organized. We are trying to get all of them on board because, you know what, if we joke, especially the entertainers, the entertainers and the rest, I'm told a few of them have had, either guns pointed at them and they didn't even report it and all that. And so, in as much as possible, we should retrieve all these weapons. And we need all of you to help us to do this. The National Chief Imam, His Eminence Sheikh Nuhu Shaributu, he's one of the first places we went to. He accepted wholeheartedly to be the Ghana Amnesty Ambassador. And so, yes, if you think that, of course, we've had people say, why not extend it for the whole year? But mine is that, why extend it for the whole year?
I'm just looking at
no, bring the weapon. There's been time. Listen, Ghana, if you want to travel from Navrongo, you want to travel to Hamele, don't even travel here. You can go to the Hamele Divisional Command or the Wa District Police, the Wa Regional Police.
So you don't necessarily have to come to
you don't have to come to Accra. No,
go to the police station.
You don't have to come to Accra. So for me, I think that extension, I would say those who would advocate, who are advocating for it, you can write to my honorable minister, write to us. If you write to us, we could extend, we could send it to. But I'm sure, honorable minister, I'm told the president, His Excellency and his team, they are watching us. So I'm sure they are all watching and they are making notes that. But they want, the most important thing is that the state wants these weapons surrounded. Bring your weapon. If you do not bring your weapon, we would arrest you. See, we will retrieve to the last weapon. You saw what happened in Ashanti region. How on earth? In Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana, we do have young people accost the police officers in uniform, accost police officers in a marked police vehicle, accost police officers with their rifles loaded. Those days, people will say police officers' guns, they didn't have bullets. Now, all their guns have bullets.
At least that's an example.
Those days, they will tell you that, their guns. Now, police officers, their AK-47s are loaded with extra rounds in their pockets. So, if you accosted them and their life was brought in any form of danger, a police officer who cannot defend himself, I tell you that, has no reason to tell me he will defend me. And for now, let's establish it. I'm not an advocate for violence. But what I'm trying to say is that today's generation must know that police officers, when they stand in traffic, most of them who stand in traffic with the vest might not have weapons. But when they say stop, why do you stop? You stop because that's an authority. So he now accosts you and tells you, stop what you are doing, and you saw one of them at the other side of the car. You give warning shot with an illicit weapon in front of a police officer. This is the reason why the amnesty is here. It is here because we want all these people to know that without the guns we have left, we must leave after these guns have been retrieved. Because we don't want a situation where it is, an eye for an eye, each one for himself, and God is going. No, because when we do that, Ghana would not be a safe place for all of us to live in.
Right, we have just about 10 minutes to wrap up. Pardon me to use that 10 minutes to ask you how you are faring in new role as the Executive Secretary to the National Commission for Small Arms. How are you faring there? How has it been?
It's been difficult. It's been difficult. The president has warned all appointees, everybody, that you must get it right.
It's a must.
People have questioned, why is it that for 1 year there hasn't been any scandal? It means that you don't want to be the scandal. Because if you become the scandal, the president says he would hang you, isn't it? So it means that we are all, myself and my colleagues who were fortunate to be appointed, I will tell you that it's been pretty much difficult because you have to be awake 24/7. But the president is not sleeping. My Minister of the Interior is not sleeping. Every week, he meets us as often as possible. And when you go, you must give an account of what you are doing at your agency. Are you with me?
Yes.
And my team, they will tell you that we don't sleep. My team at the Small Arms Commission, Mr. JB, Carl, Malam, my HR, the operations guy, my deputy, all of them are not sleeping. And so how I'm faring, I can tell you that we have a role to play. And mine is that in the past, I would have come here to come and speak and, make general proposals. This can be done, that can be done. Now, the hot cup has been...
You're on the helm of affairs.
It's been put on me. What you do is going to be how people judge you. So the speaking must stop whilst action begins. And so the moment I was put there, fortunately, I had a very supportive Minister of the Interior. And so you go to him and it is right, he quickly drives it. The National Security Coordinator, one of the people, one of the best. He's been very good. The police, very supportive, the military. And so I will tell you that it's been pretty difficult, but with the encouragement and the support of everybody, including the president and all of them, we would achieve maybe more than we were, the general public expected us to achieve. And you can see, 1 year down the line, we have, I was appointed on the 18th of February. So next month, 18th will be 1 year in my position.
Would there be a 1 year anniversary party?
No. Don't go and do Kenoforiata. Don't go and do Wache. Don't go and do Wache. What do you call that? Don't go and do Wache party. And then now you are in detention center. You are in black in a detention. Someone who wears white is now in detention center in black. You don't want to do that. So I want to stay in there, do my work quietly. I don't like trouble. You go and do Wache party and whatever. I'm there.
It's a very harmless question.
You are just putting this to me, and I go and say yes, party. The work is difficult.
Right.
You are dealing with arms and ammunition every now and then. And I just came back from an international workshop or conference. The whole world has been engulfed. It's not just Ghana alone. So the world is finding various mechanisms to reduce the proliferation of illicit arms that persist. And the sub-Saharan Africa, those of us in close to the Sahel, are mostly affected. Those of us in West Africa are affected. Why do you think we now have the alliance of Sahelian states? It is because of illicit, if not ordinarily. We shouldn't be delving into some of these things, but hey, it's been a big issue. So for me, 1 year on, I would say it's been good. We will try and retrieve every last bullet that is illicit, every last weapon that is illicit. We need your support to be able to do this.
I want to ask you this. Usually when you are outside of a box, how it looks is different than when you are in there. It's also different. You were out. You were given your own, like you said, your own remarks and all that. Now you are part of the security service. How different is it from when you are?
It's so different.
Outside.
You see, I have been a private sector player all my life. So it's just this period that I joined public service. So that even everything you do, you must write. You just have to. You go through various processes. So when you are out, you look at it, it's like a proverbial forest. When you are outside, you think, Charlie, the thing is so thick. Or when you are, what do you call it, inside, you don't see outside. But it is when you are in or you are out that you begin to see it, the reality of it. So I would say that it's been quite humbling. I have to be very honest with you. Quite humbling. When you have everybody, those days, you could say anything you want to say. I used to say it and walk away. Now you can't say it that way. Now, whatever you are doing now, even when someone comes on social media to insult me, I don't insult people. Not even today, but those days when someone insulted you, maybe others would have also retorted. But today, you see, you're a public officer paid by the public. You're a public officer paid by the public. And so you just have to tame yourself and tell yourself that now the public is watching you, and therefore and you are part of the system. So that information that probably in the past I would have sat here, because those days I picked a lot of information on the security cables and all that, that I could have shared. Today I can't do that. I would share it with my colleagues, are you with me, and make sure that we are able to, deal with it. And so, for instance, this morning, one of the first things I picked was some serious intel. One of the first things I picked was serious intel. I've shared it with my colleagues who are supposed to be on the beat and dealing with it. When I say my colleagues in the various security sectors, and they must deal with it. In the past, maybe I would have dealt with it differently. But today, the last thing you want is to be a rogue. Not rogue, I wouldn't say I was a rogue. The last thing you do is to speak anyhow. When I say, I wasn't speaking anyhow, but
then there's a certain level of cap.
Yes.
That when you go to.
you hold on before you talk.
Right.
And so these days you won't see me probably speak on the generality of security matters.
Unless
if it has to do with firearms, if you call me, I will. But if it has to do with someone assaulting his girlfriend or someone, that one I will tell you to speak to police.
You know what? Let's involve our audience. Okay? Probably we may have some 2 or 3 people wanting to ask you a question.
That's fine.
So let's go on the phone and have a conversation.
Please.
And you're still watching us here on Good Afternoon Ghana. I'm still here with Adam Bona, who is the Executive Secretary of the National Commission of Small Arms, and he is joining us here this afternoon. So join the conversation. There are phone numbers here on the screen. Just call. When you call, please, first of all, lower the volume of your TV sets. Listen to me, reply, and let's make our remarks short and brief so that other people can also join in the conversation. Please, we are grateful. And so whoever is calling, please just go by this, very normal rules. Lower the volume of your TV sets. Listen to me and make your remarks very short so that Doc here can also answer your questions. I have a first call on the line. Good afternoon to you. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Daniel. I'm calling from Ayi Mensa.
Hello?
Hello, this is Daniel. I'm calling
my first
from
call,
Ayi
so
Mensa.
speak to me, please. Right, we're going to get that worked out and we'll go back on the line. But keep calling. Keep calling. Call. We're going to answer you here. If you can hear me, Daniel Ayi Mensa, I'm told you are my first caller. Talk to me. Where are you calling from and what contribution do you want to make to the show?
All right, so the question here is...
Hello, Daniel. Right.
All right, so yeah, my question is, those who have firearms in their houses and they don't want to, come out and say they have firearms in their houses, how do they know that these people have firearms in their houses? Or is there a number, or is there a link where people can report people or something? We should let the general public know this.
Media, leave your messages there, and I promise you, I'll read it out or send them to Dr. Adam Bona here, and he's going to return with some answers. But Doc, if anybody wants to reach you or reach any of your people who are Doc, if anybody wants to reach you or reach any of the people who are taking, or retrieving these illegal firearms, are there numbers to them?
Yeah, there are numbers.
Yes.
I'm going to retrieve the number. But
no, you can actually do that. So as Doc tries to get the number for us, let me again remind you that these are your numbers to call us. At least we just want to pick one call. We have some issues here, I believe, has been fixed. So you can try and call us again. Let's see if we can have a conversation with you. Just one caller and we can wrap up because we have just about... Oh, forgive me. Our time is been up. Just 1 minute to wrap up. Forgive me. So no, let me come back to you if you found the number.
But
if not, you leave it to us later.
Yes, so
you mention
I'll
it. Yes.
leave it with you.
You do that. Yes.
But for those who are watching, they can go to the Small Arms Commission website. If you go to www.smallarms.gov.gh, you will find all the information on the amnesty, including the numbers. You can also go to the 18555, the police emergency number, and you should be able to get whatever you want to do.
Thank you so much. And so you can visit www.smallarms.gov.gh or just call 1855 and have a conversation with the security personnel, and they will assist you to submit your illegal firearms safely. So some breaking news coming in here this afternoon is that Frimpong Boateng, Nyaho Tamaklu, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklu, and Dr. Christine Amwaku Nyama, these 3 persons have sued the MPP and NDC over unconstitutional delegate voting systems. Frimpong Boateng, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklu, and Dr. Christine Amwaku Nyama have sued the MPP and NDC over unconstitutional delegates voting system. I believe by 7 p.m. here on Metro TV News Night, we'll have all the details and the latest on this breaking news here on Metro TV. So stay with us here on DSTV channel 277. I am Bryce Nanakwesiamani, and this has been Good Afternoon Ghana. Have a good afternoon.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
What at all does he see in her that he's not seeing in me? Look at me!
Eugene and Anekia made a choice.
You won't believe what Pam and Anekia have done to me.
Or staying alone.
Abstain. Why abstain?
I have been seeing through your shenanigans all night.
I thought I told you that I didn't want to see that girl in this house again.
I'm sorry, Cinnamon.
Lost. I've won the battle. Get over it. Battle?
Why me? I like you very much. That's why I brought you this.
Protect me?
Yes, I'm ready to listen to you.
Eugene Clark. That boy. That womanizer.
You are old enough. I would like you to man up to choose among these two. Now, the baby is baby. So you are coming to come and see.
Sometimes I just sit and then regret what really happened.
Take care to prevent pregnancy.
Just stop it. They have to pay for what they've done to me.
Be ready for the storm coming up for you. The revenge is not necessary.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson,
Me didn't tonton. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, that's you.
Improve car.
Yeah.
Captain was key to double the action.